So I thought while we're here, I'd do some more mailbag. So I'm going to start with this one from David, who writes, I'm really interested in getting one of those stands. The Gibraltar stands are really, really popular. Not cheap, but popular. I use two keyboards, Korg Kronos and a Korg M3, which are definitely weighty beasts. So have you any idea how much it is to get the parts to make it a two-tier stand, and can you get them in the UK or is it imported from the US? So again, this goes back to a Sunday morning rant I did in January 2017, where I was talking about the studio racking and the studio MIDI. So I'll answer the last part first. Okay, yes, you can get it in the UK. There are a number of Gibraltar vendors in the UK, but because you are after parts that are not specifically drum bits, like the racking for the keyboards, so there's some brackets that you get to actually put on the poles. My experience has been, don't go to somebody who's just a pure drum shop. Go to a unit company that does a number of areas. So I use Andertons in Guildford. I've said that numerous times on the channel, and they stock Gibraltar stuff. If you give them a ring, they can normally get most of it in a couple of days. Okay. The problem with Gibraltar is that it actually all comes through a Central European distribution hub, and there have been problems with that in the past, but the last few times I've had to go and buy bits, because obviously I've got the main racks now, but when I've had to go buy bits to expand them, it's actually been a much smoother process. When I first bought my first rack, it was a bit painful. The other place to think about is Thomann in Germany. Okay, so we are part of the European Union. You can order from Thomann in Germany, and apart from shipping, there's no other costs involved in that. All the duty, etc., is all duty paid. And they stock the full range of Gibraltar. They can get the lot, okay, and most of it, in fact all of it, last time I looked, was on their website for ordering from. You just put the Gibraltar code in and bang, it's gone. So that's the first part of you. The last part of your question first. In terms of cost, this stuff is not cheap, okay. It is incredibly strong. I mean, it will take the weight of me, and I'm 15 plus stone, okay? In fact, I'm probably closer to 18 stone at the moment. So it will take my weight when it's stood up, so it will definitely take the weight of a Kronos and an M3. It's also incredibly solid when you're hitting it. So if you're you're playing those big power chords, and you wallop your fingers down onto the keyboard, the stand will not move. It's not like, that was one of the reasons why I bought it, is because what I always found with the other stands is, when you've got sort of the cantilever effect where you've got the stand and then you've got the sort of first level and the second level sitting on top of it. If you power chord that first level, starts to do that, no, I don't want that. I want it absolutely rock solid. And I actually cribbed my design from a design that was done for a chap called Ed Diaz, who is a fairly famous YouTuber, Roland demonstrator, etc. And obviously plays with a number of groups in the US. And they made him a stand because what he has is he tends to have a big master keyboard on the bottom, then he has some sort of organ keyboard, I can't remember what it was now, it might be the Hammond CX, something or other, and then he has another keyboard that sits on that third level, and he wants to be able to play all three of those up like that, and and he wants it absolutely rock solid, especially if he's playing a power chord on the organ module, which is not on the bottom. So that's where I cribbed the design from. So I think, and I could be wrong because it is a number of years since I bought mine, I think this will cost you somewhere between £300 and £400. You may be able to get it cheaper. I don't know what the prices are at the moment because I haven't gone back and looked it up. The other side of it is looking at the parts list that was included below the video that you've put your comments on. I think you could actually strip that parts list down. And I think you can, in order to make it a two-tier stand, I'll have to read this, you need to remove the following: the 4 SC GPR 435s, which are the big long stands that sit at the back of the stand, because you won't have that third tier, so you don't need them. You can remove 2 of the SC GCRAs, which are 2 of the clamps, and 2 of the SC GCRQTs, which are 2 of the quick release clamps, because obviously you're losing that final tier, so you don't need all the clamps that final tier requires, and there's 4 of them. And I think you can reduce the length of the poles that run perpendicular, that hold the lower keyboard, and also put the strength into the side panels. I think you can get away with reducing them down from 30 inches, which is what I have in the studio, which is the GPR 30s, to 24 inches, which is GPR SC-GPR 24. So that should make it a lot cheaper for you, because you're obviously not getting so many parts in. But and that was just me on sort of this morning, just making some notes and having a quick think about how it's put together. But obviously do your own design and work out where things need to go before you obviously order. So hopefully that has been of some help. The next one comes from David, and he says, what was the part number on the big chip in the A110? So luckily, when I took the thing to pieces, as I do when I'm doing a what's in the box, in between the video pauses, I actually take a number of photographs of the piece of equipment. And there is the chip you are after from the A110. Now, just in case that's not clear, I will tell you what is written on the said chip. It says Roland. Beneath it, R151 79274. Below it, HD63B01 space YOD9OP. That is meaningless to me, but hopefully it means something to you. Okay, next one from Roy. Although you are right that you can't flat out buy the Roland Cloud plugins, you did get to keep a plugin after every year you rent them. So after 2 years you decide to cancel, you can keep 2 plugins of your choice. And this is in response to a rant I did on 909 Day back in September 18. And I did not know that. I did not know you could cancel it and keep the plugin, because I always thought that the way the plugins worked is once you cancelled your subscription, that's it, you lost the ability to actually retain the plugins. But obviously I'm wrong. But it appears you can only keep 1 plugin per year. Now that's something I wasn't aware of. So Roy, thanks for the update. I've shared it now within the community. And the final one for this mailbag item, from the Death Beats. Now, if you haven't gone and seen anything to do with the Death Beats, I suggest go over and have a look at their channel, because they are actually out there making music and publishing it, which is something I don't tend to do. So go and have a look at their channel and support them. So they write, I was also underwhelmed by 808 today, as I was hoping for the MX2. I think I've mentioned before that I'm a huge Roland fan, a lot of Roland synths and drum machines, and I don't like their VSTs. Now, the guy who is this band, or one of the collaborators from this group, if you like, he is a massive Roland nut. I know that. I've seen stuff he's done. It's almost exclusively Roland gear. So he sort of does tend to know what he's talking about here. I tried using ProMars System 1, SH2 and SH101 and had nothing but trouble with them. Couldn't save patches, they crashed my door relentlessly. Now I must admit, my System 1 works beautifully, and I've got the ProMars and the SH101, but I don't tend to use them as VSTs. I tend to use them as plugins to the System 8 and the System 1. So I use mine in a slightly different way to the way this chap's using his. And I don't experience the crashing that he's experiencing running it as a VST. So, just to put fairness on this. but this is his experience. So it was a waste of a few $100s. Yeah, it's a pain in the bum. You have to buy them, but hey ho. I also don't like the cloud business model because you never get to own the products, which is wrong. Be that as it may, any serious artist should be looking at D16 Group's 303, 606, 808 and 909 clones, which are far superior to the Roland versions, and Tugo Audio's line replicas of the Juno 106 and the SH101, which again are far better than the official Roland versions. Now, I have to be honest and say I've not tried either of these. I am going to go and try some of these, but it's nice to know there is alternatives out there. Which are another harsh truth that Roland needs to face up to is that in today's producer only really needs Native Instruments Massive or X-Refer Records Serum, and they can replicate any synthesizer they want. Now this is incredibly true. You know, if you go and look at Native Instruments, you can pretty much get everything you want in Native Instruments. Now the reason why I don't use Native Instruments as much is because I am a hands-on person. I like to touch the keys and feel the instrument and play with it. I'm not a software junkie, and I've said that time and time over on the channel. But there is a lot of people who are into making music in this style. That's all they need. So in order for you to go and buy something from a mainstream manufacturer, possibly at a cost that's more than the Native Instruments, it's got to be damn good. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, thanks for your views, the Death Beats. I have published your comment to the channel so other people can read it, because I think it's got value, and obviously it's now on here. Bye bye. So it's that point where I say, did you enjoy it? Because if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure by now, if you didn't enjoy it, you've given this video a thumbs down. That's just life. Not everybody enjoys everything, and I recognise that. Over here somewhere is a subscribe button. If you press the subscribe button, every time I upload content to the channel, you'll get a notification. I know I upload videos like this, which is sort of the rant. I upload videos about mailbag items, which is where you or your friends or other YouTubers have left comments on the channel about specific pieces of equipment, and I try to answer those. And I also do videos about the equipment that is within my studio, how to use it, how to take it apart, and sometimes how to repair it. That's what you get from subscribing. It'd be wonderful to see you as a subscriber at some point. Over here will be two videos. One will always be the latest video that I've published to the channel. Another video will be selected at random from the channel based on your preferences by a YouTube algorithm, but it will always be a video from my channel. All that's left for me to do is say I hope to see you again soon, and bye bye.